Good morning, class. How are you? Well, maybe it's afternoon for you, but I just wanted to touch bases with you on this week's virtue, and it's perseverance. We've had it for a week, but we haven't had an opportunity to talk about it. So I'm going to use my handy dandy little teacher's book here and go through some of the reasons why we're doing perseverance and what the examples are of how perseverance works in our lives. First of all, perseverance is taking the steps necessary to carry out objectives in spite of difficulties. Carry out objectives in spite of difficulties. You have a goal. What is it that you want to accomplish? And some things come in the way of that. What do? Do you quit? Do you climb over the objective or the challenges? Do you go around them? Do you go under them? How do you do that? How do you continue to move forward towards your goal? The opposing trait for that is quickly giving up when a task is challenging. It's like looking at some of the religion work. Oh no, it's 2 pages long. I'm going to give up on that. I'm going to go ahead and just do 1 or 2 words instead of writing a complete sentence. That's the challenge that we all have. Don't do just enough to get by, or what you think is just enough to get by. Do more than what you think you need to do in order to achieve your goal. So there's ways of cultivating the perseverance in terms of how you live your life. Let's see, here's a couple. Finish your choices and homework even when you don't feel like it. Stay kneeling at Mass when required. Don't sit back on the seats. That's an interesting one. And say to yourself, I'm not going to give up. Here's another one. Complete homework on time. Finish chores even if bored or tired. Most of you are finishing the work that I give you on time. And some of you are coming in just a little bit late, which is no problem at all. But then there's a couple of you that really have a lot of work that you need to do to catch up. And it's not impossible. You have to set it as a goal and then overcome those challenges that are keeping you from doing that. Let's see. Complete the task from start to finish when you start. Stay with it when it's hard, difficult, or boring. Don't give up on it. Say, oh, well, I'll come back to it later. You might come back to it later, but then again, maybe you won't. So take care of it. Once you start something, finish it. When I was working in the phone company, I had a supervisor once tell me, he says, we got a lot of paper flowing through here. I see you got a lot of things stacked on your desk. How come you don't get through those things? I said, well, I start on them and then something more important comes up and I go to work on that and I just put them all aside. So they gave me a really good piece of advice. Unless the building is burning down, the most important thing you have is in your hand. So finish what it is you start. I've done that ever since and things seem to be working out okay. So we've got a couple of examples of saints that used perseverance in their lives. So I'm not going to read all of them to you, but I'm going to read 2 so that we've got some flavor here for what perseverance is like. So there's St. Peter the Apostle. When Peter met Jesus, he immediately left his nets to follow him and became a fisher of men. He was the first of the apostles to testify to Jesus as the Christ. Peter, here's the word, persevered in following Christ despite some personal weaknesses such as doubt, fear, and impulsiveness. Most famously, he denied Jesus 3 times during the Passion. Yet, after the resurrection, he affirmed his love for Christ and the mandate to shepherd the church as the first pope. His first letter encourages Christians to set your hope fully upon the grace that is coming to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Peter doggedly preached in the midst of persecution up to his own crucifixion for the faith. So there's a man that never gave up. But he had a really good example from his leader. Jesus showed him how to lead. And the last saint I want to leave you with tonight is Saint Monica. We've heard about her earlier in the year. Augustine would probably not have become a saint had it not been for his mother, Monica. For many years, Monica prayed for her wayward son from the time he was a young boy, and even as he grew up and turned to pagan religions. Her unceasing prayers and tears were rewarded when her son converted to Christianity and became a great man of God. So I kind of think of myself when I hear this story, because I'm persevering in praying for my sons to come back to the church and get my grandkids baptized. Be easy to say, well, I've been praying for this now for a couple of years and nothing's happening, so why continue to pray for that? But perseverance is the virtue that we're working on this week, and I'm going to keep on praying for those guys. So take a minute or two and think about that. And there's an assignment I put on Google Classroom that I need for you to do. It's worth 10 points. Go ahead and write up your response in Google Classroom and turn it in to me. This has been a great evening to think about the virtue of perseverance, and I thank you for being with me on this video. Bye for now.